Hello, everybody. Welcome to Just for Women Africa. And my name is Olaleko Amusa, the founder of Just for Women Africa. And today, we're on a Zoom interview all the way from the UK. We have with us Sharon Brown. Sharon is a Nigerian, and her name is called Ineka. Ineka focuses basically on Nigerian food, plant-based food. She'll be talking to us about why she decided to go into content creation, focusing on Nigerian plant-based foods and any other thing that comes up during the conversation. So stick around and we'll be right back. Okay, everybody, you're welcome back to Just for Women Africa. We have thus Sharon. Hello, Sharon. You're welcome to Just for Women Africa.
Thank you. Hello, nice to see you. Hello from the UK.
All right, that's great, Sharon. Same here. Nice to see you too. All right, Sharon. Before we get into details, you're called Ineka. What's the meaning of Ineka?
My name, Neka, actually means mother knows best, or mother is supreme, mother is great. So, which is very true. And I always remind my two daughters, when we have a learning moment, I'm like, mother knows best, so, so it's completely justified. But my mom calls me in there for short as well. So I just think it's such a beautiful name. And I definitely think it represents who I am.
Definitely, it just sounds like it is a beautiful name. Mother knows best. Mother is great. Or that looks like something you used to override your children with. Don't do that. All right. Okay, Sharon. Um, could you tell us, you're a content creator which basically focuses on plant-based foods, and 80% of your content is on Nigerian foods. Could you tell us why you decided to go into content creation focusing on plant-based foods?
Yeah, sure. Well, originally, when I went plant-based in 2019, I wasn't content creating then. So my Instagram platform was just somewhere I used to post pictures of my food, really just to be accountable to the people around me and also to connect with the community and also to learn a lot more. But what was happening was I'm a creative being. My background is in fashion and textiles, so I love all things creative. So my photographs, the aesthetics, the food looks super delicious. I had a lot of people saying, we want to try your food. We want to, we really enjoy looking at your food. So from there, I started to share my recipes a bit more. And then I started to discover that I had a skill for content creating, being able to edit videos and being able to tell a story. And I actually enjoyed sharing what I was doing in my kitchen. I felt that I was really, really comfortable. So, and then as time progressed and my platform began to grow and the feedback that I was getting, the journey just has continued on. So when I look back at my initial videos to where I am now, I'm super proud of myself with the growth. So it wasn't that I set out to become a content creator, but I realized that my journey was something that people wanted to know, people were interested in. And so I used my skills to help me develop that platform and continue to develop recipes as well. So I found that, again, because I'm a creative, I'm the type of person who likes to experiment. I like to change ingredients around. I like to just try new things. So that creation and that creativity, I definitely enjoy and bring it into my food. So yeah, it's been exciting, and the journey is still, early days, but I'm enjoying it.
Nigerian foods are not known to be plant-based. So how are you able to, communicate to your viewers or your who watch you on Instagram that they can actually make Nigerian food to be plant-based?
That's a really good point. If you try and search for Nigerian foods that are vegan, there's not a lot out there. It is there and it is growing. And I am starting to connect with others who are doing very similar things. But what you'll find is that even though the diet is meat heavy, there are some meals as well that are plant-based, And so with regard to egusi soup, that's one of my favorite meals that I loved as a kid. And so when I went plant-based, one of the first things I thought was, I can't eat it anymore. I just thought, well, if you look at the ingredients that's in there, how does anyone make that without meat? Well, actually, that's one of the meals that I have in my ebook, where you can substitute your the meat that's traditionally used for a particular mushroom. I love to use oyster mushrooms. Some people use tofu. These are protein-rich foods that can actually, they're quite malleable. So if you know how to prepare them well, they can behave similar to meat and have a similar texture to meat. And in terms of the flavors, what I've found is if you're able to learn how to season and flavor your food where you're not relying on the meat juice, then you can enjoy egusi soup on a plant-based way. So my children have enjoyed egusi soup. My daughter absolutely loves it. My youngest loves it. Well, they both love it. So when I've made it and it's vegan and there's no meat, they're just as happy. And I have sat here and enjoyed egusi soup and just felt like I don't have to miss out because I'm plant-based, you know, and I've done it in a sustainable way. I've done it in a way that hasn't included animal products. And the same goes for a number of other meals. The red stew, the traditional Nigerian red stew, where you'd use boiler chicken or beef. Again, I haven't really changed the ingredients other than swapping my meat for a mushroom or a tofu. And again, as long as you know how to nurture that plant-based ingredients and prepare it, you get to enjoy those meals just as much. So it's taken some time for my family to adjust, because obviously my mum, when she visits and she comes round, she actually made we made bitter leaf soup together, yeah, in a vegan way.
Okay.
And she was surprised by the videos on my platform. I'll put the recipe there. She was surprised. By the end, we were still enjoying it. We were still enjoying it. And again, we just substituted the meat for a different plant-based ingredient.
Okay.
So yeah, so I talk about a lot of swaps you can make with fish, with meat, with chicken, the different alternatives that you can use. So yeah, it's possible. It's basically my message, you know, that you don't have to miss out. I mean, my reasons for going vegan and plant-based were more health related. So it's not that I don't enjoy meat or I didn't like meat, or, you know, it's sad what's happening in terms of how animals are treated, but that wasn't my motivation initially. It was more from self-improvement, lifestyle change, and health reasons.
Okay. All right. So for viewers who are watching who do not know what vegan is, could you explain to our viewers what vegan is and why people should go vegan?
Okay. Well, in terms of what vegan is, that essentially is when you have eliminated foods that are from animal products or have animal ingredients. So the difference between vegan and vegetarian, you would still include eggs and cheese, whereas on a vegan diet, anything that has come from an animal is not part of the diet. The other thing I want to point out is with being vegan, for some people, the term veganism also links into other areas of our life. So not just necessarily food, it can even be a vegan will not wear clothes that have been made using animal products. A vegan or veganism doesn't promote or may not purchase makeup products that have been tested on animals. So I prefer, which is why I prefer to use, even though I am vegan and I have eliminated meat predominantly from my diet, you know, pretty much 99% from my diet, I prefer to use the term plant-based because I haven't necessarily got rid of leather belts, or, you know, I don't intentionally go in. I'm not prepared to throw away, you know, some of my nice belts or my bags just yet. I wouldn't go out of my way now, but I'm not in a space where I'm literally, there's nothing that I own that has, you know, that comes from an animal. So, but a vegan diet is someone who is not consuming foods from animal products. And it is strict, which is why I found that a lot of people are put off or not really sure how to start. And the way I've approached it is you just have to take baby steps. And the goal for me is not necessarily to tell people to go vegan. For me, it's very much just encouraging people to embrace more plant-based meals and to appreciate that you can enjoy your food without meat being the centerpiece. So that you don't have to have a vegan meal every single day forever, but just consuming less meat is not necessarily a bad thing. So I prefer to take the gentle approach. And again, I live with meat eaters, so I still cook and prepare, you know, meat foods, and that's something that I'm comfortable doing because I too enjoyed meat for so long. So, and it was such a personal journey and decision for me that I'm not going to now enforce it on the people around me. I can only share my experience and all that I'm learning and the benefits, and just encourage people to try it, which they have. So my family are embracing it, you know, So which has been great.
Okay. So if you're sort of watching, I'm sure you'll be a little bit confused. You're in the UK. How are you able to get ingredients for your African dishes? I mean, you mentioned like things like egusi. I'm sure you like things like efo, edikaiko, and the rest of them. How are you able to get ingredients, for those?
That's a really good question, and I have actually moved outside of London. When you're in London, it's a lot easier to get to those areas where you've got the Afro-Caribbean shops and the Asian shops where you can buy those ingredients. But I have found that where I've moved to, I've been able to get to those areas where I can. There's African shops that I buy my ingredients from. Fortunately for me, I have family in Nigeria, so they're able to sort me out and bring things for me. But I have been able to source suppliers and source markets where you can find those ingredients. It's just about doing your research and informing yourself, and also being prepared to. You have to travel out a little bit more to buy in bulk or stock up. Then it just depends how passionate and how serious you are about pursuing something that you know is going to improve yourself. But now I find that it's quite, because I know what staple meals I like to cook. I know where to get those ingredients, and London's not like super far away from me. So when I'm there, I will stock up. But generally, I'm able to access. Fortunate for where I am, because I know I've had people online say, "Oh, I haven't been able to get hold of they don't sell plantain where they are." For me, that's like, oh my goodness, you're not able to buy that. So not everyone has easy access. You can buy ingredients online, which is great as well. So it's a matter of knowing what that ingredient is that you need and finding a supplier, which, again, I'd be happy to help people do that if they were struggling to do that.
Okay, that's good to know. That's really good to know. Okay, so let's talk about your ebook, which you're about to launch. First of all, what is the name of the book, and what's the ebook all about?
So the name of the book is A Vegan Taste of Nigeria. So it is definitely 100% focused on Nigerian meals. And it is my first ebook. And that is basically, I thought it would be a fantastic way for me to start this journey. I plan to write more ebooks. So because I've been super excited about veganizing Nigerian dishes, I thought this is an awesome way to introduce vegan eating, and as well as introduce my background, my culture as well. So the book is all about nostalgic recipes as well as traditional meals with a plant-based twist. So there's some photographs which I'll be sharing as well, just my upbringing, memories, certain recipes that are in there. For example, I'm able to veganize suya, believe it or not. I love suya. I've got fond memories of my dad buying suya in Nigeria. So that was definitely something that I wanted to feature in there. I gave some for my family to try, and they were just like, "Is this meat?" So that told me I'd done a fantastic job. So that's one of my actual favorite recipes in there. So yeah, it's all about Nigerian dishes with a plant-based twist and how you can substitute. And what I found was when I was making these recipes, I didn't stray too far away from the actual technique or the method. It was just a few tweaks and, swaps, and you're still able to get an outcome. So the photographs, pepper soup is in there. There's a photograph. Akara is not necessarily something that included meat, but I wanted to include that in there because it is a very protein-rich dish as well. And I've got, again, chin chin. It's not necessarily the animal products in there would have been the butter that you'd use, but you can now get plant-based butter, which is fantastic. So I've been able to put that in there as well. So, and I've got a feeling there's 10 recipes in there, so there's definitely going to have to be a part 2 with other Nigerian meals in there.
That's interesting. A long time I've heard the word chin chin. It reminds me of
Really?
my childhood.
Oh gosh, I love chin chin. My mom. That is when you say chin chin, the memories and the trays that my mom would leave outside when the sun is drying the knots, and she'll make us tie
I
the
know, I
knot.
know.
It was quite tedious at the time. I didn't appreciate it because it's a lot of labor. But so yeah, fond memories. So,
Definitely. I wish I could give myself some chin chin. Okay, so
yeah.
let's. All right, so let's continue talking about the book. When it's going to be out, and how can people get copies of it?
Yeah, so it's out on my birthday, which is the 22nd of July. I thought that again, I thought it was a really nice date to celebrate this milestone. So not only my birthday, but the birthday of my first book. And the link is in my Instagram bio for people to make their purchase.
Definitely, I can imagine. Congratulations on your ebook. Look forward to seeing it and making some of your recipes in there. As we round up the interview, what's the future for Sharon Brown?
Well, the future is to continue to share my love of plant-based cooking, not only with Nigerian meals, but just everyday plant-based cooking where you can enjoy meals that are not focused on meat products. So it's a journey that I'm still on. It's a journey that I'm still learning about and growing from. So the future is all about sharing that and encouraging people to be part of that journey and even try to see if it's something that they would be interested in. I also do cook for people who are interested in trying plant-based food. So my business is in its infancy. My business, My Plant Bowl, which is the name of my platform on Instagram. But I do actually have a small catering business. So the vision is to continue to share my cooking not only online with my recipes, but actually, who knows, I will be cooking for you if you come to. I've got a few events coming up again. I'll tag information about that, about how people can get involved and come and try some of my food. So the vision is just to grow people's awareness as well of the joy that plant-based eating can bring, and that it's not something that is impossible for people to do, because I definitely was someone who said I could never ever give up meat. If you told me that I would be a vegan and enjoy food without meat, I probably would have told you you're crazy. So it's just encouraging people to understand it's not as difficult, it's not as hard as it might appear, and actually it is something that can be quite beneficial. And the more people that I speak to, the more I discover that it is something that people are growing more and more interested in. So yeah, the future is just about continuing to develop as a content creator. I'm interested in collaborating and networking with other vegan foodies who are just embracing plant-based cooking. And definitely to continue to share more recipes, whether that's online or with more ebooks and different projects.
All right, Sharon, thank you so much for being with us here on Just for Women Africa. We really enjoyed spending time with you. We look forward to interviewing again in the future. All right, and to our viewers who are watching, do not forget to go down into the description below, purchase Sharon's ebook, try some of the recipes, and till the next show from Sharon and I in Lagos, in the UK, it will be bye. All right, thanks a lot, Sharon.